Guys, give it up for Benson Boone. Um, First of all, I gotta say a huge thank you to you. Thank you so much because in DC, you fixed my tie, and I was walking around looking crazy.
You weren't looking that crazy, all right?
Okay,
You
good,
were
good,
still
good.
looking good. You were still looking good. It might have been a little crooked, but don't worry.
I appreciate that. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty great.
Mhm.
It's definitely been a whirlwind of events the last 2 months. But yeah, I'm just feeling good, ready for some new music and enjoying, how people are taking beautiful things, and
Mhm.
it's incredible. I'm very grateful.
When you say whirlwind of events, explain that. What do you mean?
Um, like you always hope that a song does well. And like for beautiful things, it's a song that I really love. But like especially before it was released, I really loved that song and believed in it. Um, but like you can never really fully plan out how it's gonna do because like once it's released, there's only so much you can do. And so I hoped it would do well, but I didn't know it could do what it's doing. And yeah, there's just been like a lot of mail in the inbox.
Mhm.
So just kind of trying to enjoy everything that's happening and calling my mom. She's been extra worried.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Why? How come?
Just like about everything that's happening. We just have so many like tours coming up. We have so many, trips to Europe and like all this crazy just, things that I've never done
Mhm.
before at a scale I've never done. So, but I think it's really exciting.
Was she worried when you moved to LA?
A little bit. You know what? My mom like never really expresses her worry to me because she doesn't ever want me to think that she's worried about me.
But you know your mom, so and you know that when she's worried,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Right.
Yeah, but like I feel like that's a common mother trait.
Mhm.
But yeah, so grateful for her. But like I definitely don't want her to worry because I'm surrounded by good people.
Absolutely. How often do you talk to your mom?
Um, Almost every day. Like I'd say on average every other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same way with my grandmother. I have to talk to her every single day.
That's so
It's
sweet.
so funny because like she'll call me and she'll be like, "Hey," and I know it's just to check up on me to make sure that I'm alive. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because
Yeah.
she's the same person. She like worries, but she doesn't necessarily want me to know that she's worrying. And I think that's a really interesting trait that
Yeah.
parents have. I wonder why they don't want you to want you to know that they're worrying about you.
Well, I mean, like, I can't really imagine having a kid,
Yeah.
but like, I would imagine that if I did have a kid, like, I would worry about my kid if I couldn't see them every day.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think it's a beautiful trait because
Absolutely.
like they don't want you to worry that they're worried, but they're worried, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah,
Was there any anxiety before Beautiful Things came out?
no,
Really?
I'm not really like. I'm gonna be honest. I don't I don't really know. I can't pinpoint a time that I've ever like really known that I'm feeling anxious. Like I don't really I feel like I don't really get super anxious. And I know that I definitely have been, but like I think I've felt it so little that like I don't really know when I'm anxious. So I'm usually just like very excited for that kind of stuff. And especially beautiful things once it started to pick up, like I was just stoked for it to come out.
Only reason I ask is because I feel like that song is so personal. So I would feel so anxiety ridden as to like what people will actually think of the song when it's being
Yeah.
consumed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's a good point. But like I think part of being an artist and like releasing music is like obviously everything you write is going to be personal, whether it's about someone else or it's about you. It's like it's all personal things.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like how you make great music is by unlocking those feelings that you felt because it's real. And
Mm-hmm.
like everybody has different experiences, but we all feel similar emotions. And
Right.
so, like even though it's a very personal song to me, like maybe it can be a personal song to somebody else who takes it their own way. So like I don't ever I don't ever really think about that because I know everybody else has their own side of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's just they just like the lyrics or whether they relate to them or not, like everybody's different in how they listen.
Does it ever take you back as a singer and songwriter when you're out in the wild, right? People run up to you and they're like, oh my gosh, this lyric did this to me. Because I'm sure that's not necessarily the intent. You're just writing from, the place that you're writing from, like whatever happened in your life. But does it take you back when somebody's like, hey, God, I love this lyric because it got me through blank?
Yeah. I think that's what I love the most about music, especially about like live shows and being on tour, is I never know, what people are going to take away, what lyrics people are going to relate to. But things like that, I think, are what make like touring as an artist so special, is you get to see and hear the effects of like what your music does to people in person.
Mm-hmm.
When like online, anyone can comment on a video and be like, your song made me feel this and this and this, but like I don't read through every single comment, and I can't always see everything. But like when I'm doing a show with a couple thousand people in a room, like it feels so much more personal, and like that's the side of things that I love the most. I love like seeing the emotion on people's faces, hearing them sing, or just even just watching them listen.
I tell you what, being in a room performing, a concert space, if you will, the energy in that room has to be electrifying, especially when you're on stage, you're singing your heart out. You're getting that same energy back that you're putting into it. Like that has to feel so good. Almost addictive.
It for sure. I think addictive is a great word. Yeah, like there is nothing like being on stage, truly. Like since I was a kid, I've definitely always like really liked, like a rush of adrenaline,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's like cliff jumping or doing a big jump, snowboarding, or like anything like that. I've
Right.
always craved that. But like once I started performing, it's a completely different kind of feeling. Like getting just crazy energy from so many people in a room all at once, and you're just on a stage entertaining and performing. I mean, it's like it's crazy. It's unbelievable. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely like the greatest thing, and like my biggest goal is to do like, huge shows and these big tours and, stadium shows, and like I'm sure so many artists say that and want to do that. And I'm just, another person that wants to do that. But like when you play in front of, thousands and thousands of people, like it is actually like it changes your life. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Get ready to bleep, y'all. That must be the biggest mind out there. Right?
It is. It really is. So if I say something right now, they'll bleep it.
Yeah. Go ahead. Let one rip. Feels good, doesn't it?
It does.
Mm-hmm.
It did. And they just bleep that out?
Yeah, we will.
That's great. That's amazing. I love that. Wow.
One more.
Sorry.
You're
Yeah.
going to have to pay $5.
All right.
Here's a swear jar.
Only 5.
Yeah.
You should be charging more.
Like what?
Well, I don't know. You got like.
How much you got?
Well, okay. For other people, you should be charging.
Okay.
More. Yeah.
For you, $5.
For me,
Everybody
$5.
else, $25,000.
Yes.
I get that. Hey, do me a favor and tell me about the Fireworks and Rollerblades tour. It's kicking off April 3rd in Chicago.
Yeah.
How do we feel about this?
We feel great. Truly, I've really never been more excited to be on tour. So I've only done one tour before, like one U.S. and Europe run, and genuinely, like the best time of my life. Being on a bus with my boys and going on stage, it's like literally magical. It's incredible.
I would assume being on the bus is almost like a frat house, if that makes sense.
Dude, it
just
literally
living with your
is.
boys and whatnot.
It really is. Truly, like it is actually a blast. And I think this tour hit a vastly different audience than like what my songs will normally hit. And so honestly, I'm really excited because a lot of these rooms are gonna feel like new, like new people, and obviously they will be. I mean, it's definitely bigger than the last tour, but like brand new people that have just discovered who I am,
Right.
and that kind of fuels me a little bit because I genuinely do love to be on stage and I love to entertain and I love for like people to feel the emotion that I feel. But like I know, you know, I know that I can do my best to kill it on stage, and so like it's just motivation for me to give people a show, and I'm so excited to for the merch that I've designed, like for the shows, and just for the vibe of the shows, like being on the road with my boys. It's like truly, I'm so stoked.
You know what's interesting? I tell people all the time. People are like broke right now. People don't have no, like, you know what I'm saying? People are living paycheck to paycheck, but the fact that they are spending their hard-earned money to come see you in concert, that has to mean a lot. You know what I'm saying?
It does. It does. And like, oh man, you gotta come to a show. You gotta see, you know.
I feel like I've
what's
seen
going
many
on.
glimpses of it. Like we were hanging out at KCON in downtown LA.
Oh yeah.
I saw you in DC, but I feel like I need the full scope of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You do.
How has the move to LA been?
Rough.
Has it really?
It was rough at the beginning. I'm really not a fan of LA. Like
Mhm.
I don't. First of all, I just don't love like I'm not really a city guy. So I don't know. It's already kind of just not my vibe to be in a city and surrounded by so many buildings and things. But everybody I talk to is like, yeah, you know, just like give it a year or give it like 18 months and like you'll find your people. And I'm like,
That's what people said to me too when I first got here.
yeah, but like I'm not trying to wait a year to enjoy where I live.
Correct.
You know? Like
That
I'm
makes
not trying to
sense.
just tough it out for a year and then hope that things will get better, you know? But
Mhm.
like I will definitely say it is true that like the people around you change how you look at this city. And luckily I'm very, very close with my manager. He's like my best friend.
Mhm.
And so we got houses like literally 2 streets away from each other.
Okay.
And yeah, so I see him every day, and I've slowly started to meet people here that that I really love and appreciate, and so it's getting
getting
better, but like LA for show is not my forever place.
I feel that. You come here, you do your shows, and then you go back to your forever place.
Yeah.
How important was it for you to, I guess, come here with your grandma's piano?
So many songs from the upcoming album
Mm-hmm.
were written on that piano. And like when I first moved here for the first like 2 weeks, I literally just had a bed, like not even a bed frame, like a mattress and that piano in my house every single night. Like I wasn't sleeping very well, and so I just go downstairs and play the piano and write. And that's been actually really great for me to have something that feels familiar. But yeah, so grateful for that piano.
What is Benson working on next?
More music. Preparing for tour. It was actually really difficult, like choosing the songs for the album, because I feel like definitely the best music I have ever written
Mm-hmm.
and have been continuing to write has been in the past couple months. So like choosing which ones to not put on the album and to put on the album was really hard, but also kind of nice to know that I have
Options.
things to release afterwards. So yeah, I'm just, always writing new things.
It's always a pleasure chatting with you. I just got the wrap up sign, so we got to go. But please come back because I feel like there are so many more things that I want to talk to you about.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for having me.
Of course.